Good evening, all. So, we discussed many topics till now. It is about MIS, appraisal system, data mining, and data warehouse. So, why we all use all these systems? To do some good decision, right? To take some good decision which helps us to in the progress of our organization or any individual goal. Fine. But when it comes to decision making process, we all feel a bit confused. We all feel overwhelmed with different choices, with abundant information. So, how we need to decide, how we need to come to conclude to a good decision. So we have to conclude with our thoughts, and we have to do take some good decision, right, which is effective positively to our own goals or to any organization progress, right? So we should have some decision making process, so which avoids the confusions, unnecessary information, and unnecessary time consuming process even. So, if we follow few steps, our decision making process will be simplify our life. So, even in professional environment or in any our personal life even. So, daily we take many decisions. It can be our personal decisions or it can be professional decisions, like to which career we have to choose, or to what we need to eat for the dinner, or what clothes we have to wear. So all these are like personal goals or personal decisions. When it comes to professional environment, we'll be having different questions to come to do some decision making process. So even if we ignore our personal decisions, I mean to take some time to come to arrive to certain decision, we always choose to do procrastination, because we will be overwhelmed with all these lot of abundant information and abundance of processing systems or people's opinions or free random advisors. So we will be overwhelmed with all these types of situations. So sometimes we our brain feels it is not a good time to think and process, and then it procrastinate the taking decision. Then ultimately we'll be lose the moment, we'll be losing many opportunities, or we'll be ending up with very low quantity of success, or we'll be ending up with unnecessary goals or something like unwanted things will be arriving to our life. So even though it is we don't like such type of situations, but we always procrastinate due to the laziness of our brain, because we are used to it and we never try to give some feeding to our brain, because we feel this decision making process is very tough, and choosing between many or among many options, we feel difficult to come to a decision. So we will be procrastinating our life many times, and even for going for a trip, or even to attend any family party, or to give some send off party to a friend, or to write a letter to our parents, or to do a simple call to our childhood friend. We do many these all are like small decisions, but somehow we feel like it is not the right time, it is not the right way, or there is some good procedure for everything. So we procrastinate everything by having some type of unnecessary unnecessary types of thoughts in our mind. So we have to decide many things. So even though we procrastinate few things like what to eat and what to wear, or to call or not, or to write a letter or not, that will not affect our professional life, and it will not affect any organization or even our business goals, but it will affect our relations. So we should be very careful before taking a decision when it comes to our personal life. So what if we do the same type of procrastination in professional environment also? Then it affects our organization goals and team goals negatively. So that is the reason we have to take decisions in time. We cannot avoid the deadlines, we cannot procrastinate the time, and we should have lot of time sense. So based upon our decisions, few suppliers will be supplying, few customers will be buying, few customers will be giving more orders, or sometimes will be getting more shares even to our company. So there will be lot of positive effects based upon our decision making based upon our decisions. So why to procrastinate? How we can procrastinate when it is going to affect our company goals negatively? No, right? So we have to give lot of tough job to our brain. Our brain needs to do some storming job over there. Then if we feel difficult, we will be recognized as a useless person, or we will be treated as an unprofessional person in our professional environment. So to avoid such type of situation, we have to follow few decision making process steps. So let us discuss. We all take many decisions in daily life. So in workstations, we should take many decisions as per our cadre and designations. We often ignore minute details or crucial research before taking any decision. So in order to get minute details, it will be little difficult. So we don't want to go into depth, or we don't want to do certain research, even though we know that it is essential to our decision making process. So this should be avoided. The first step, we must know that every minute detail is going to support our decision making process. So how we can go into depth without doing the research? So we have to do the research before arriving to some decision. So that is the reason we all need minute details, and for minute details sake we have to depend upon the research. So what type of research we need require, right? So that is the reason we should identify the problem first, which problem we are dealing with, or which new situation we are going to deal with, right? So that should be our first step in order to enter into the decision making process. Also, if it relates to personal life, we often procrastinate, right? So these steps can also be implemented in our personal life. We should not forget that same pattern will not be considered in the professional environment, so that it should not give us any unprofessional identity in our own organizations. So we must follow few procedures where our decision is crucial. And coming to the second point, first understand the problem and the root cause of that problem. So it can be the situation, or it can be the seasonal problem, or it can be some type of war situation, or it can be any other competitor issue, or it can be sudden fall in the demand of the product. Whatever it may be, you should understand the situation first properly. So for that sake, we need to do the proper analysis of that situation, and then figure out the problem, and then trouble then figure out that trouble which is troublesome factor. And after identifying the root cause of that trouble, find out whether it is reoccurring problem from past history of the company. So if we do some research on the track record of our company, then we can easily find out that it is reoccurring problem. So last season also we faced the same situation. For instance, we can say in last rainy season also we faced many issues with flood water. Suppose if we have some agri products business, and we need lot of products which are related to this agri products, then due to floods, if they are not able to supply on time, then who will be the sufferers? Our own organizations, right? So we should arrive to that conclusion that this situation is based upon the seasonal situation. So how to handle it? So we identified the problem here, and we can store some products when it is coming to the rainy season or the flood season, right? So this should be our solution. So this is called decision making process. First, finding out the situation or problem, and if the problem is reoccurring, what to do, and if it is not reoccurring but unexpected situation or unexpected problem, how to do, what to do, we have to understand. So first we have to check the history of the company, the company's problems track record, and then we will arrive to some certain solution. We can fix with technology sometimes, or we can fix with cold storages by storing the products, whatever it may be. Accordingly we can plan. So if it is a newly crop up problem, then list out all possible problems, okay, and then list out all the possible solutions. So choose an exact suitable action finally. So we have listed out all the all the possible problems, okay, because it is reoccurring issue. We know that what it is going to happen due to floods. The supply will be hindered and the demand will be more. At that time customers will be suffering, or they will be moving on to some other state, or they will be getting from other competitor, where which competitor has that future plan, and who stored all the products before rainy season itself. Easily customers can consumers can switch on to other competitor, right? So we have to think of all the possible scenarios, and then we have to act accordingly. So in the same way we have to list out all the possible solutions even, and then we have to choose one exact suitable action. Even though we have many problems and many solutions, we have to choose only one solution which is exactly and specifically going to hit that trouble. And we need to make sure in future it should not be in the company should not going to deal with the same problem. Because even after knowing that it is a reoccurring issue or reoccurring problem, why to waste every year same time, same amount of brainstorming work, and same amount of the type of people work, right? Human resources and even sometimes finances. So this should be avoided, right? So we have to act accordingly. So after taking decisions, we also should know that system development should be there. So after taking the decision, we should also have decision system development. So in this scenario we'll be going to execute the chosen action. So that is called decision, right? And then after taking that, implementing that action, we have to monitor the executed action. And then repeatedly we should review that same action, and how far it is going to help us, and how far it is going to give the side effects, and how long it requires the same monitoring policy over there. And then we have to do as many as follow-ups required over there. So after implementing that, we cannot say, okay, we have done something great job and it is going to hit in a positive way, and it is going to it is not going to be reoccurred, and by saying all this to ourselves, and we cannot sit in a relaxed mode. We have to do many follow-ups, and we have to do the understand the differences before decision making process, after decision making process, and even after the implementation. So how far it is going to help, and whatever we spent on this implementation and decision making process, is it going to fetching after implementing? The productivity is equivalent to that decision making process, and that system development is equivalent to or not. That also we have to evaluate. Otherwise, we may take many decisions, but if it is not going to fetch us the right productivity, the right quantity of the productivity, then what is the use of taking that decision, right? So we have to follow up, and we have to even evaluate that execution cost and the decision making process cost, whatever it may be. And finally, if it is going to help us, then we have to follow and we have to maintain the history record, so that the coming managers, the same managers, can be working for the same company or cannot be, right? So that again and again they need not to work on the same decision making process, and straight away by opening this record they can do the same process, they can execute the same decision for the next coming season, the next year, right? So this should be a systemized process, so that every manager need not to work for the same thing. They will be prioritizing few other new things, so that which will be helpful for the company's goal and achievements. And then we have to note few other crucial points also in decision making process. As I mentioned, identifying and analyzing the situation and the problem or trouble. So this creates some situations demands that a decision must be made. So these are the crucial things we need to understand. So we can consider it as a summary of the decision making process. So as soon as we identify and analyze the situation or the trouble, then we will understand that this situation is demanding a decision from the manager or from the concerned person, concerned authority. So which will be helpful for the business growth, or not only for business growth, even in our personal life also it will be useful. So we need to understand that in a family, if they are not going out for continuously 2 to 3 months, then it is a time to take a decision that all family members need uh, uh, some kind of trip, so that they feel relaxed, right, from these stressful jobs and careers, or what studies or whatever it may be, so that they will be understanding about the situation, so that after a trip they can feel that difference before trip and after trip. They will feel more relaxed, and they can give more productivity in their work. So this is the difference. Even we have to find out in our personal life, not only in professional life, not only in monetary ways always. It can be in any way. We have to find out the differences before and after taking the decision and implementing the process even. So in decision making process we have to toggle between many options. So people's opinions and the customer reviews and the people demands even. So if you have a car, your consumers may be coming up with more requesting more features in a low quantity of cost. Then how we feel as an organization person, how we feel, okay, if they are asking many features in 10 lakhs car or in 5 lakhs car, how we feel, think in a perception of the company, right? So if we are having any automobile company, and you got a question in social media asking for 5 lakhs car but with many features, okay, which we can see only in high end car. So how we have to respond to that type of questions? So, and even people opinions also. So we have to toggle between many options and with many opinions and with many type of demands also. So don't rely on old funda of same methodology. Search for options like creative substitutes, or sometimes we can use different type of to provide features in that 5 lakhs car. We can go with a few other substitutions also, right? So that accessories, or giving some other different look, interior look of the car, whatever it may be, using some other type of leather to the seats, or giving some other technology to the steering, like for mp3 even, right? We can do many things with more substitutes, right? So that is called uh, creating with substitutes. So toggling between options, but we have to come with the quick results and which give the quality results even. And then after implementing, validating all the substitutes even. So as we are choosing in between substitutes, we should not compromise with low quality, right? So that is the reason we should understand, we should validate the original quality and toggling between many options, that also we need to validate. So validate all factors which are bothering and which are okay type of thing in substitutes, or with new alternatives, whatever it may be, so which becomes easy and simplifying the consumer life. Means consumer what they exactly expect, the low cost, right? And also which should not be a burden to the company even. So to arriving to this type of decision is very crucial and it is very tough even. So we should validate from both ends, from consumer end and from the organization end even. So finally choose best substitute. We should not affect either the organization or the consumer. And implementing, while implementing also, whatever we have spent time, finances, while validating or while taking coming to conclusion, while implementing also we should give our best. So make sure it will comply with organizational system. So somebody should not say that this company got compromised with the quality or with the customer satisfaction or with certain rules or certain license programs or whatever it may be. So we should not compromise in any set of the organizational rules and systems. So each and every company will be having their own funda of philosophies, vision, mission, right? So with that goals they should not compromise. And then following up and checking results. Obviously after taking decision and implementation, we should even understand the effect of that decision, right? So implementation, right? So evaluate results to make sure the quality of decision making process. So you can check in a way of customer satisfaction, or you check in a way of competitors reviews, or you can check in a way of the profits the organization is getting. So you can evaluate that result, that productivity in many ways. So note down, and then finally jot down all the challenges in due process while taking decision and decision taking process, and in the time of implementation and at the time of maintenance, right? After sales we cannot say that our job is done. So after sales, even our job has become more, our responsibility increased. We have to provide more service to the consumer so that he can bring another 5 consumers from his family, right? So in a way, we have to face many challenges. So we have to write down all the challenges whatever we faced in that due process, and then that record must be tracked in our database system, in our company database system, so that it can be useful for upcoming managers. Again, they need not to redo the same work, they need not to do same decisions, they need not to do the research on the same type of works again and again. So it actually it supports to reduce the time consuming process of the company. So I think I made it very clear. So if you have any questions, or if you have any doubts, or if you have any opinions, or comments or views, you can share in comment section. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe my channel. Please like my videos and share to your friends who are really looking for the right concepts. And I feel for startups, really, to the youngsters, my concept will be very useful. And I am making very simple about the concepts, so that they don't need to dig the topic into depth. So if they want in detail, they can study on their own, but this will